Teaching at rural schools in Africa is a far cry from the urban environment of King's College in Otahuhu. But after an eye-opening experience in Uganda last year, Chaplain Warner Wilder was keen to return to Africa.
Last year I was over in Uganda actually, attending a conference to do with refugees. I visited one or two schools. To see the poverty in Uganda, which of course is a typical African country, but at the same time to appreciate the incredible spirit of the people there, and that just blew me away actually, and really motivated me to get more involved with the people of Africa.
This time he went to Zambia as part of ChildFunds Global Schools program.
And on my return, I wrote an article for our Courier magazine, our King's College magazine, and I was approached by a child fund, by Paul Brown actually, who read the article and is an old collegian, and said, would you consider getting involved with a program with Child Fund in Zambia? And I said, be delighted to.
Global Schools is a teacher exchange and resource sharing program. It aims to help developing nations improve the quality of their education system, while at the same time enabling New Zealand teachers and schools to experience firsthand the issues facing many third world countries. King's College was one of 9 New Zealand schools who achieved their fundraising goal of sending a teacher to partnership schools in Zambia's Munbwa district.
What were the highlights of your trip to Zambia?
The highlight, well, undoubtedly working at Mutumbi School.
Baptist. What can you, and a very, very, very important person. What can you tell me about John the Baptist? Tell me about John the Baptist. Who was he?
Because he baptized Jesus Christ.
He baptized Jesus. Absolutely right. He baptized Jesus. Tell me something else about him.
Just to get to know these wonderful kids, the teachers were just fantastic.
And several months later, King's College hosted Patricia Selenga from Mutombe School.
How did you and your school get involved with the Child Fund Exchange program?
Our school is in the catchment area of Child Fund. So the names were picked by the Child Fund office. Then they were taken to the District Education Board Secretary for scrutiny. And that's how they verified to say, I can be one of those to travel here. It's all by the grace of God that I was picked to join this group, because we are 14 of us in Zambia, that is Central Province, who are in this program of teacher exchange. And out of 14, they picked 4, and I was one of those, which is a rare opportunity. I thank God for that. Somehow I'm motivated by my Christian faith. I can quote a scripture from Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6, where the Bible declares to say, train up a child in the way he should go. When he grows up, he will not depart from it. Hence, I'm motivated that I need to train up a child so that whatever skill I give to a child will be very helpful for him in his life.
Patricia says that although the Zambian government provides free access to education for all children, many of them live in remote rural areas which are miles away from the nearest school. Social issues like poverty and lack of transport are just 2 of the reasons why the numbers of children in her classroom are only half of what they should be.
I thank God that Zambia has a policy of free education from grade 1 to 7. Which has really helped some children who had stopped school some time back to come back to school and at least gain some basic skills for them to use in life. Life in Zambia, more especially in the rural areas, is not easy, more especially if we experience droughts. In certain families, they may go hungry, maybe they may have a meal once a day. It's not like that in the city, because most of the people that live in the city, they have a job to do and they have an income, so they'll have food. But unfortunately, we have very few teachers, so they are forced to be in one class, the 75 of them. Classes in rural areas, really they are big. My class, my pupils are about 64, but the average attendance is between 35 and 45. The other challenge is on teaching materials. We don't have enough teaching materials back in Zambia, that is in the rural areas.
To see how they coped with virtually nothing. Their resources, a piece of chalk and a blackboard, and here they were teaching subjects like chemistry.
In her time at King's College, Patricia was keen to take advantage of the opportunity to talk to pupils in several classes.
You know, at first it was like, these children already know what I want to teach them. But I realized that it's not true that they know it all. There's certain things that they don't know. I enjoyed my lesson with them.
What kind of government do you have over there?
We have a democratic type of government.
Yeah.
After independence, in 1964, we had a one-part rule, and the president was Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, who ruled for 27 years.
And what insights do you think you'll take back to your teaching in Mutombe?
I think I've learned a lot of things. I really make sure that I'm committed in what I do to help a child, because someone, somewhere, one teacher was committed to help me to be what I am. So I feel I should do the same. I would like to see a situation where really learners can go, maybe they can learn independently. Then teachers act as facilitators, because there it will really help the students. They'll learn what they feel they should, and they'll try to find information about what they do not know. I learned a lot. My experience had been very good. To say that the child should be the one to tell the teacher or to give awareness to the teacher on what he wants to learn or where he has to improve, and maybe his or her weaknesses.
In Zambia, Reverend Warner found that the students' enthusiasm for both learning and faith was a real encouragement to him.
At one stage I asked the class that I was involved with, a class of 60 plus, and I said, how many of you go to church on Sundays? And I realised that was a very stupid question, because every single hand went up. And religion plays a very, very important part in their lives. And I believe that is actually one of the reasons why they have such a joy for life and a wonderful spirit and a thankfulness for what they have got.
Patricia Selenga and Reverend Warner have seen firsthand that both Zambian and Kiwi teachers are gaining huge benefits from the teacher exchange program, and they both believe that by taking part in global schools, they are helping to bridge the gap between very different worlds.